Hello and welcome. I'm going to record a walkthrough of Knife Thrower from the XL World Championship Knockouts. It's by Mikoja Rakotoalisoa. Um, I tried recording a solve of this on the platform and then realized that I had closed my computer down at some point between setting it up and starting, and so my camera had gone to sleep and it didn't record my face. So that's quite annoying, but anyway, I'm going to try a do-over. So the idea for this one is we're throwing knives at a board, so we can throw from four different sides of the board. So you've got, the north side positions 1 to 39, the east side positions 1 to 39, the south side positions 1 to 39, and the west side positions 1 to 39. And from each position, you just throw directly until you hit the first thing. So in other words, from here you'll hit 28, from here you'll hit 27, and then in later levels the board gets rotated. And weirdly rotations given in multiples of pi. So, 0.5 pi is a quarter rotation. So you can see this, I say you can see if you're not colorblind, as somebody pointed out. If you are, this is quite difficult. But this purple rotates up to here, so it's a clockwise rotation by half a pi. And then there's also like negative rotations later. Okay, so that's enough yak. The first level is just kind of separate from everything else. Um, if like a score can be either valid or not. Oh, I forgot to mention that actually. So if you throw from say here and hit this, and then you throw from here and hit that again, only the first hit on any particular location counts. And if you throw from here and hit this, and then the board is rotated and you throw from, I guess it would be here and hit the same thing, same again. So like this will have ended up over here somewhere and you'll hit it there, but because it's been hit before, it doesn't count the second time. So here we're just dealing with valid and non-valid. So we want the sum of the valid scores. That's going to be sum of text after this after the semicolon, and we'll just say if not found 0, times 1 to convert to numbers. I don't want the feedback quite that immediately, but okay, that should be good. Then yeah, now from here on we're basically getting into the game. And the format in which we're given locations is the side and then a semicolon and then the number. So the way I'm going to deal with this is I am going to just have I'm going to have north semicolon comma south. Actually, let's make it vertical stack. South semicolon east semicolon and west semicolon semicolon, and let's just make sure that's yes, that gives me that, and then I want that and sequence comma 39, and then I want to call that. So these are all the places that I'm going to be throwing from, and then I just want to figure out where I'm hitting for each of those, and I'm just going to do that as four separate things. So coming from the north, we can say Baikal. Sorry, I just want to name the board because that'll make some of this easier. And so what I'm going to work out is what address I'm going to hit, because then I can figure out, if I hit 15 from north 8 and I hit 15 from west 13, then I know that they're the same thing because they're giving me the same address. So for the north, we're going to say Baikal board, and I haven't imported my lambdas, have I? So let's go and import my lambdas. Okay, so now we're going to say Baikal board, and we're going to say lambda call. So we're going to say to call ifs bd. So in other words, all the blanks will be falses and all the numbers will be true. Ifs bd, then addresses of bd. And then the ifs here will mean that this gives me the address if it's a number, and it gives me an error if it's not, and then to call with 3 will drop that out. And then I'm interested in just the first one that I hit, so I can just say at to call. And that will be everything that I hit from the north. No, it's not. Why not? Oh, sorry. If's call addresses call. There we go. So in other words, the first throwing from the first position, you hit C22, and then D21, and then E20, and so on. And then for this whole second half, you should always be hitting in row 22, and that seems to be what's happening. And now I just need to flatten all of that to call that. Okay, so that's what I hit from the north. Now, when I'm coming from the south, similar idea, except that I want to know the last thing I hit. So instead of at two call of this, I want to say at flip of two call of this, which is my thing that flips things north to south and east to west. So again, we can just quickly check. South 1 hits C22, yes, and they should all hit 22 for a while. And then when I get to south 20, that hits V41, which is good. Okay. All right, so now from the west, it's going to be similar to this, except that I won't need to two call it at the end because I'll be going by row. And I guess I can just leave that. Sorry, I need to get rid of some brackets. So east 1 hits V3, then U4. Wait, sorry. No, that's west 1. It hits U3, V3, then U4. Yeah, sorry, that's west, not east. And I did east before west, so I got to put that one down below, which is fine. So we'll just cut that, put it down for west, and then east will be, again, somewhat similar, but I'm trying to hit from the other side, so I just want to flip before I add it. So then east 1 hits V3, V4, V5. So yes, we're hitting V all the way down to the halfway mark, and then AO22. That sounds right. That is right. Okay, good. So then I'm going to call this Turgs. I guess I'm going to call it Targ 1 just to distinguish from the rotations that I'll do later. And this I will call add. Okay, so now this should just be a straight lookup. So it's going to be X lookup this in Turg 1 returning from add. Oh, sorry. And then I have to turn that reference into a value. So to ref that on board. Okay, so that gives me 3, 19. That's all good. So I think that's working. Okay, the player is now throwing 10 knives in every game. His position will vary for each throw. So here I want to say X lookup this in Turg 1 returning from add. And then so we want to figure out the sum of the valid scores, and that's why I'm keeping the addresses here, because, so for example, here P9 is repeated, even though we're throwing from different places. And so to keep it simple, I'm just going to take unique of that by column, and that gives me 7 hits. And then I can sum of 2ref of that on BD. And that gives me 95, which is what we want. So hopefully we're good there. But there are hints. Let's take a quick look at the hints before I check score later. So that's in the range. 177 is in the range. 170 is in the range. And this, does this have hints as well? Let's see. 1 and 5, 15 and 20, 10 and 15. Yep, looks good. Okay. So level 4. 2 players are taking turns using the same boards. They take turns in throwing the knives. Their positions will vary with each throw. Okay, so again, I want to X lookup this in Turg 1, returning from add. And then I want to know which ones are the first hit. And one way to do that is to X match this against this. And so you can see this is 1, 2, 3, but this has an earlier match. So it'll find the first match. So I just say that is equal to sequence, comma, whatever number we have here, 20. And that will give me true, true, false, etc. Okay, then I guess let's just put this in a let. So we'll say let adds be that. First can be X match adds against adds equals sequence, comma, columns of adds, just to make it a little more flexible. Then I want to figure out the winning score. So I'm going to group by. My player will be mod sequence of 20 starting at 0 by 2 plus 1. So that'll just go, well, we can just highlight here and see. It should just go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All good. And then there's going to be to call adds. Sorry, I don't want adds. I want to ref of the adds on BD. I want a sum. I want no field headers, no total depth, and my filter array is going to be to call of first. I'm only interested if it's the first. What have I got? Okay. So that's the end of group by. That's the end of that. Get rid of that. So now I've got, yeah, player 1 gets 117, player 2 gets 185, which matches the example. So then we'll just take the max of that. And we're good. Level 5. All throws are now being made from the south side, but this time the board rotates. Okay, so you can think about rotating the actual board, but I think actually conceptually simpler is to think about if we rotate the players in kind of the opposite direction. So if I rotate the board one turn clockwise, then equivalently I'm rotating the players one turn counterclockwise. So let's see, my north 1 will become my west 39, and then counting up north will be counting down west. So this can be, well, let's make it V stack. So we have them all, west, semicolon, and sequence 39, starting at 39 in steps -1. Okay, then my south 1, again, I'm taking a backward turn, so my south 1 will rotate around to be my east 39. So we'll take this, make that east. Good, so they're going in the opposite directions. Then next up is east. My east 1, if I rotate backward, becomes north 1, so that's just north, and just sequence 39. And then finally, my west 1, if I rotate counterclock, becomes my south 1. So it's just same thing again, but with south instead of north. Okay, so my north and north becomes west with the numbers reversed, south becomes east with the numbers reversed, east becomes north with the same number order, west becomes south with the same number order. Happy days. So that is shifting the positions to match 1/4 rotation clockwise. To do more rotations, I can just do XLOOKUP, the previous position in here, oops, returning from here, lock. So yeah, so that just carries on around. And the check should be, if I apply that for an extra time, does that get everybody back to where they started? And the answer is yes. Okay, so I'll get rid of that. So now I'm going to call this turgs. So these are the different places you're throwing from with 0 rotations, or 0/4 rotations, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now I want text before of this, before semicolon second occurrence or last occurrence. That's south 8. And then I want the same thing, but text after. That gives me 11.5 pi. I'm going to want to get rid of the pi, and the easiest way to do that, I'm just going to put that in a cell and name it p, so I don't have to screw around with symbols. So I'm going to substitute that p blank. So now I've got 11.5. So each 0.5 pi is a quarter turn. So my number of quarter turns is going to be my multiple of pi times 2. So this is 23 quarter turns, but obviously every 4 quarter turns is just back to where you came from. 4 quarter turns, full turns, so that's just mod that by 4. So that's the number of quarter turns, but then the column that I want in this is the number of quarter turns plus 1, because the starting point, 0 quarter turns is column 1, 1 quarter turn is column 2, and so on across. So I want that plus 1. So now it should just be XLOOKUP this in index turgs, row number 0, column number that, and returning from at, sorry, and then a 2ref again, not 2row, 2ref of that on BD. No, that's not right. Oh dear. Okay, so in example 5, the thrower is standing on the south side of the board in position 8. 11.5 5.75 times the clock's current position as depicted in example 4. So here, okay, and we're throwing from the south, from position 8, which means we're throwing into this, which is the one between blue and purple, which is this. So it's like we're throwing from here, 8, gets me to 27. Okay, so I should be doing the equivalent of west 8 in column 3 in response to south. South 8, West 8. Okay, what? Now I'm confused. Oh, sorry. I'm doing this backward, aren't I? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay. Ugh. Is there a way to fix that quickly? I could change it to a double X lookup, but it might be easier to just fix this. All right. So, sorry. What am I saying here? I'm saying that my South 8 is turning into West 8. But what I really want to do is kind of the reverse of that, because I want to be able to look up in here. So it's coming out a little incoherent, I fear, but so board turns. All right, so I think I've done this the wrong way around, basically. So my north shouldn't be going to east and west, it should be going to east. And in which case I don't want the reversal. Then my south is next, shouldn't be going to east, it should be going to west. And I therefore don't want that reversal either. South is going to west, yes. Then my third block is east, and so east was going to north, should be going to south. And I do want the reversal there, and then this is going to north, and I do want the reversal there. And then that reverses all the rest of the way around, and now we've got a 27. Okay, good. A little scary. That's felt too shaky, but anyway, that's what we have the examples for. Visualization is not always my strength. All right, just before we go on, let's check that we're still, okay, we're good up to there. Let's carry on. Player 6, the player is now playing alone and throwing 10 knives in every game. Okay, so what do I want? I want, let the throw position be text before, actually, sorry, let's call it CD for code, be all this madness. Sorry, no bracket. Then I want throw position will be text before the code, before a semicolon last occurrence. Then the rotation will be text after CD after a semicolon last occurrence. Then we want to substitute out the pi. Then we want to multiply by 2. Okay, and just show me the rot for a second. So 9.5 times pi is 19 quarter-turns, yes. And then I need to make this cumulative because the finishing position, where's it gone? Yes, the ending position of the board in the previous throw is the starting position of the board in the next throw. So in other words, these rotations are cumulative. So we're going to say scan 0 through all this, sum, and then finally we're going to take that mod 4 and add 1. So then our 9.5 quarter-turns will be, sorry, 9.5 pi, so 8 pi of that is just no change, and then 1.5 pi is 3 quarter-turns, which puts you into the 4th column. Then 7.5 pi is another 3 quarter-turns, which, so you get 3/4 plus 3/4 is a half, which gets you to here, which is the 3rd column. So yes, okay, that seems to be working. Then the addresses will be, I guess I'll have to map throw position and rotation, lambda tr x lookup t in index tergs 0 r, returning from add. Close the lambda, close the map, and give me adds. Okay. Then my first calculation, same as before, will be x match adds against adds is equal to sequence comma columns of adds. Then the score will be 2ref of ads on board times first. Let's output SCR for a second. So player one, oh sorry, there is only one player for this one. Yeah, so they score 27, 27, 6, 0, 9, etc. Adds up to 142. Good. So then that's it for that one. We just want sum of score. So I'll put it in here. Okay, then level 7. Level 7 gets a little more complicated. I think I will just do a model for this one. So we'll say L7, and example 7. We'll XLOOKUP this in here, returning from here. Let's call that. Okay, and then we'll say text before this semicolon -1. We'll say text after this semicolon -1. Sorry, semicolon, comma -1. Then we'll substitute out the pi. We'll multiply by 2. We'll scan to get a cumulative sum. We'll mod 4. And then finally, this is the number of quarter turns, and then add 1 to that gets me the column I'm interested in. So then, so this is cumulative rotation. Then the score, sorry, the address first is going to be XLOOKUP this in index tergs 0 rotations, returning from add. Then the first, and that's going to be xmatch this against this equals sequence. We've always got 40 here. Yes. Then score will be 2ref of this on BD times that. Okay, and then the player is always 1 to start, and then if there was a valid hit and you ended on a multiple of 10, then it stays at the same player, is the rule, I think. The danger of having just played the case a minute ago. If the player's total cumulative score after a valid throw can be divided by 10 with the remainder being 0, they get an extra throw. The player can have multiple extra throws per turn if both conditions are satisfied after each throw. Okay, so we're going to say if it's valid and, hang on, sorry, so then player score. No, let's just say P1 score, P2 score, and then bump those up, start with 0. Then we're going to say this plus sequence, I don't need sequence, I just need an array constant, 1, 2 equals this. Yeah. Times this. Okay, good. So now we're going to say if this is true and index of this by this is a multiple of 10, so mod that by 10 equals 0, then it's the previous player again, otherwise we change players, which is just 3 minus. So then player 2 goes, they get 21, player 1 goes, they get 15, that brings them to 20, which means they should go again, and they do, and we're off to the races. Okay, so then my winning score is the max of these, and I want that for all 20 levels. Okay, and then bonuses, bonuses. So bonus 1, in level 1, how many throws are not valid, which is just, this is the one where not valid codes start with n, so we'll just say count if that n star. In level 2, which side is used the most, so we'll just say at most of text before, because it comes with a side and a number, so text before this, before semicolon. That's north. In level 3, how many throws from the east side are valid across all games? Yeah, so this won't work with the way that I did it originally, so let's just come back out to this part. These are my addresses. Then I want to know that ads be that, and I'm interested in How many times is it a throw from the east and, which I will achieve by multiplying, and X match adds against adds is equal to sequence comma 10. That's my test for is it the first time this has happened. So I get just one valid throw from the east on the example game, and then I just want sum of this. And then we'll take that and put it over here, I guess, and then I want to, what is going on? There we go. So then I want to copy and paste with sum up here. Happy days. In level 6, how many throws are not valid across all games, exclude example? Okay. So in level 6, I just want to figure out first. So if I go down as far as first, just put this up here for a second. Then I want 1 minus first would be how many are not the first throw, meaning not valid. In this case, there's none. Really? That seems moderately surprising, but okay. Yeah, fine. Anyway, so I want sum of 1 minus first. Put that there, copy down, and again, paste with sum. And finally, in level 7, how many extra throws are made by player 1 across all games? Okay, so I guess I just want count if this 1 equals 2. That is an extra throw for player 1. And there's 1, and so on. Okay, so then I want count ifs. This is true. And I'll take this and paste with sum. And hopefully that's right. I don't know. Let's check. Unhide. Okay, that's good. And just check. Yeah, total score 1250. Good. All right, got it right. I went in the wrong direction on this one, even after thinking it through and talking through it. My intuition for just like spatial stuff is not where it might be. But anyway, got to calibrate with the examples, and then it was fine. Obviously, this went better than it did on the day. But anyway, all right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.